You are listening to the Earplug Podcast Network, a Fanboys Inc. production.
If you're passionate for what you love and you're serious about it, when you see our cameras at the show, then we want to talk about it. Fair weather fans need not apply. We seek nerds that are true.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Angry Geek Show, live on your public access television station and on YouTube. Fan favorite Tim Wylie and this cat Christian Sherman. Christian, why are you so famous? Why are you here? Why are you in the Geek Lair? Tell the people.
Because I am the master of the obscure!
That's right, you are.
I think it's because you invited him
Yeah.
and said you're going to feed him.
Yeah, pretty much. We're going to go.
Coffee.
No, because no liquid is involved in the Geek Lair, Tim.
I finished it.
Jeremy's not here, so of course we have Tim stepping in. Anyway, Christian, your film.
We have room.
We have. Oh my God, Jeremy is like a tornado. There he is. It pops up wherever we are. Your fan film, Villains Inc. Why don't you lay it on us? Tell us a little bit about us.
Villains Incorporated. So it, what life is like for supervillains if they live in the corporate world. Was kind of an idea back in my head with, was originally started as a holiday deal. It was a Christmas thing originally, and then it sort of kind of morphed into this, well, what if, Lex Luthor and Black Manta and Captain Cold had board meetings, and what if there was an HR department, and what if there was, that whole...
Excuse me. No. We all know what he does when he's in a Geek Lair.
So
go on.
we're
talking about villains, and we have superheroes here. So,
No, we got villains.
Well,
There's villains all over.
I did have one superhero, and
Matches Malone.
Matches Malone. He was super awesome to do it, and if you're not paying attention, you don't see him in the first set.
That was hilarious.
And then all of a sudden he pops up, and it was great. So it was a good movie. It was my first. I wrote it, produced it. Mike O'D from Bald Dog Productions was my cinematographer and director. And we had all the local cosplayers. We had matches. We had Brandon the Shapeshifter. We had Kepler on Stitches.
Brandon was Captain Cold.
Captain Cold. Yeah. We had Jeremy McCormick as the Joker. One thing we learned about Jeremy is when you turn him on, you cannot turn him off. But you know what? He sold it. We had... Josh Mandruga as Bane. We had my director of security as the head security officer. We filmed it all on my office
You
space.
had the Solar Man from
I did. I had Nuclear Man. Tony Cerullo.
Yes.
We had Lex Luthor, WonderWoman cosplay, Greg Snyder. We had Miss Tessmacher, Nikki Hens, local actress. We had Patrick Lachey as Otis, because you can't have one without Mr. Luthor.
Yeah, Otisberg.
We had Harley Quinn, Dr. Quinsel. Sorry, we didn't have Harley Quinn quite yet. We had Dr. Quinsel, Emma. It was a great time. It was a very tough schedule. One thing that people learn as I have done films and I'm familiar with film work. It takes time.
Because you're an actor too.
I do. I'm an actor as well. So with film work, everything is time, and people who don't understand that think that films and movies are shot like this, and it's all about angles and so on and so forth. So when I wrote it, everyone said, "Well, who are we going to use actors?" And I said, "We're not going to use actors. We're going to use cosplayers because the cosplayers already embody that character to the best of their ability." And the game for most of these guys when they're doing cosplay or when they're doing contests for cosplays is you do not break character. You're on the stage, someone asks you about something, you stay in character. And they know the character, they know the persona. So against my director's will, he was like, no, we got to do actors, I said, no, we're using cosplayers. And they're going to sell it, and it's going to be awesome because they've already owned the costume, they already own the stuff to do it. And it came out pretty good, for my first time out. Are there slow spots? Yes, it was we did 15 hours of shooting. We did 13 scenes, which is a lot.
And it came down to 10 minutes.
It came down to 22.
22.
20, yeah, that's what it is, 22 minutes, but it was for what we got. And again, no one who was there other than crew knew how things work. Mm-hmm. So to get everyone to come in and do multiple shifts and to do multiple days was really, really hard. So we kind of made an exception, and we told everybody, listen, if we're going to do this, this is a very long day. Some people may be here from beginning to end. Some people may be here for half a day, front or back. It is what it is. And we did it. It was good. Now, everyone, since I've released it, and it's all on YouTube, on Villains Incorporated.
Link on our website.
Link on the website. Right.
Shameless plug.
Thank you.
Go on.
The people have asked, well, sequel. I go, yes, sequel. I know, sequel. And I've got some stuff that has been written down, and I'm maybe, I'd say, a third of the way through. Writing for multiple characters is tough. Writing for multiple universes is even harder at times. But I have explained to everybody who may or may not be involved that this is a multiple day shoot. This is not
one day.
Okay. We're not going down that road again. Yeah, that's not.
Now, can we see the man who lives for this stuff in that film?
In the new one?
In the new one.
Not yet.
Not yet? Now, Tim, the man who lives for this stuff. That tagline, who invented that? I want to know.
That was me. That was on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
We did a promo video for a local haunted house
in
Holyoke, Mass. Yep. This is let's see.
2 years?
Yeah, I've done it 2 years. That was from the first year.
Correct. Okay.
In 2016, we also did the one for 2017, and
it's a great short.
It is. It's fantastic. Fantastic.
In the first one, I played a zombie, a prisoner, like escaped convict. Would change them to a zombie. They captured me. They're going to kill me, and tables ended up turning. I killed one of the protagonists, and then got taken out by the other before she was killed by a monster. And it was a lot of fun, and it was an all-day shoot.
For 3 minutes. Not less than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Less than. I think it's like a minute and 3 seconds or something.
It's not that long.
No, it's
it's expanded a little bit because they added other footage and things. So I'd say probably close to 3 minutes. Oops, sorry. And that was
I got to keep an eye on you.
That was my friend Al Liptek with Kirby Productions that puts all that together. But that wasn't the first thing I did with him. A few years ago, I did a short film. There was a contest on Tent Square, and it was titled "The Zombie Bromance."
Yes,
I remember that one. Yes, that's good.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the title of it is kind of funny. The title is "Giving Head." Giving head, a zombie bromance.
Okay.
What it is a zombie lost his friend. His friend got decapitated, and him being a barber takes the head, reattaches it so he can have his buddy back, and it's a lot of fun. That was a long day shoot.
All right, so how did you get involved in this? I mean, what did you wake up one day and say, I'm going to be an actor, but I'm going to bypass SAG?
Nope.
How did you get involved?
Everyone, just for the record, everybody gets to
bypass
bypass SAG for a little while.
It all started because of my cosplay, and because I wrote the lyrics to a song that a friend of mine recorded.
Okay. You are a Renaissance man. Actor, cosplayer, mechanic, dude with a corner office.
Songwriter.
Songwriter. Forgot about that.
Singer-songwriter.
And let's not forget,
I
in
will
a
say.
comic book, which we're going to talk about pretty soon, because we got
I'm a character in a comic book as well. No, years ago, a friend of mine, Jay Govin, he has a band called the Prozacs. It's a local punk band, and
Nice.
I worked with him at the factory, and we hit it off, and
The hit single was the Limousine Shuffle.
I went to a few of his shows and everything else, and I was like, I got an idea for a song. And he's like, well, write it down. All right. So back in the day, when Paul Rubin, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman, got busted in the adult theater, I took that and wrote a song about it. And it's about a guy who comes upon this scene at a theater. Someone says they're going to bust a celebrity, and it's like, I got to warn him. So it's this guy trying to warn Pee Wee Herman to get out before the cops get in. Of course, obviously it doesn't work. And it became one of his most popular songs.
Really?
Oh, that's cool.
Now, my friend Al, he was doing a video shoot of BMX bikers at the local skate park as a fundraiser for the victims of the Boston bombing.
Okay.
So they were raising money for that. When he was doing the editing, he chose that song for the soundtrack.
Really?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Very cool.
And from that, we started talking, and then he found out I was into cosplay. Of course, I'd followed his band for a couple of years already. So we knew each other. We were friends on Facebook, but never really interacted much. When he found out about the cosplay, he invited me to do this zombie bromance. And it became an award-winning film.
That's awesome. All right, let's talk cosplay. What got you involved? When we talked Facebook Live about it a little bit, well, why don't you tell the people at home?
So my foray into cosplay was with my daughter was watching Heroes of Cosplay, and she kind of got roped into it, and I was watching in the background, and then she says, is that something that can we do? And I was like, yeah, just, sure, what do you want to do? And she's like, I want to do Raven. And I was like, oh, you're going to do Raven? Okay, what am I going to do? I'm trying to think about what I'm going to do, and being father-daughter, I thought how do you do a father-daughter if she's doing Raven? And I said, well, I'll do Trigon, I guess.
What are you doing?
4 hours of...
Excuse me, dude, again?
Dude, nice!
No!
What did you get?
No, he's opening up one of my pops. What are you doing?
It was open, dude.
Everything up here is packaged.
Yes!
You need to display things
I do have things out of the
mint in box. We like to refer to it as.
The box is not mint. It's crushed.
Mint in box.
It was until you got here.
No.
Dude.
It's not a bobble.
Dude.
No, because it's a pop. They don't bobble.
They do have bobbles.
No,
You can make it bobble.
Oh my God.
He does the turn. Da, 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 da.
We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with more from Christian. What the hell? And we're back. Please don't follow his...
I was just seeing if I could
Don't
see
follow him.
what it looks
Don't.
like through her eyes.
Don't.
Clear.
All right, it's not the dating game. Put it back. Please continue. You stay away from my stuff.
It's a dating game now.
Oh, you know. I do.
I got rid of Jeremy for this. Tell me. Well, I didn't get rid of Jeremy. He's not here, but I got this.
You invited me. You knew the list.
Yes, I know. All right, so continue your story.
It's your fault.
Continue your story.
So we did the father-daughter deal cosplay with Raven and Trigon. We did that down in Rhode Island, Comic-Con in 2014. And she loved it. And you know what? I got hooked. I have to say I got hooked because I used to build stuff as a regular basis anyway. And then it just got, so Trigon's pretty obscure. How many guys are doing Trigon, right? All right. How many guys are not in the room are not doing Trigon?
Trigon or Trigun?
Trigon.
Trigon.
Okay.
Trigon the Terrible.
I like Trigun.
Raven's father.
The anime.
No, we're talking Raven's father.
Yes. So then
As
I got...
He owns Synthos.
See, I don't know Trigon.
Another goth chick.
Another
Trigon.
I could put my hood on.
Yeah. So we got hooked, and I started building. Next one was, like I said, I do obscure stuff.
Well, what's your obscure stuff for cosplay, which would have been awesome, you might agree with me, is if you were Raven and your daughter was Trigon. That's brilliant.
Yeah. I do have the legs for it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
see, my daughter and I were going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
The Silent Hill.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I started working on a pyramid head for her, and I was going to do one of the Silent Hill nurses.
Oh. That's
And
cool.
I've got the entire costume. I have to redo the mask that I made.
Okay.
And then we got to totally rebuild the pyramid head. But
Yeah.
she kind of lost interest in cosplaying and things. But
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
wasn't into
Teenage
it much.
kids. I mean,
Yeah.
mine
Well,
too. Mine,
what got you, sir, involved in cosplay? This is something we never talked about. I mean, you just came in here, took the ball rolling when I needed someone to co-host, and we never really got into what makes Tim Wylie tick. What got you into cosplay?
coffee and Guinness, from what I read on his
Be
Facebook.
quiet. Yeah. Go on.
No, actually, a motorcycle accident.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So do tell.
Easter Sunday 2013, I took my motorcycle out for a ride before we got together with the families and everything. And I went up into the hills behind the house. And when I was coming back, it's a slow road. It's a 20-mile-an-hour road. And no, I wasn't speeding, nothing like that. I was coming around, getting ready to lean into a turn. A pickup truck came around the other way. He's halfway into my lane.
Oh.
So I had to stand the bike up to avoid from being hit. And he swerved over back into his lane, and I tried to make the turn. I couldn't make the turn. I had to dump the bike into the guardrail.
Ooh.
I got banged up a little, bruises and a couple scratches, nothing major.
The road rash.
Not even because I had my leathers on and everything. But definitely wear a helmet because this happened at 20 miles an hour or less. And when I went down, I smacked my head.
Oh, yeah.
Fortunately, I had the helmet on. If I didn't,
You'd be like Jeremy.
Yeah.
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 So I got up.
There he is.
Hello.
I limped the bike
Yeah.
home. By the time I got home, the front tire was flat. There was no brakes, no gears, nothing. Walked in the house. I just got in an accident. Called the insurance company. They said, okay, we're going to pay for everything. Take your helmet, your clothing, everything else that got ruined. Put it outside. We'll come and assess it. And okay. So that night I started looking for new leathers. Leather jacket, and I was thinking about leather pants to match and everything else. And on eBay, I saw a leather jacket and pants that were embossed like stormtrooper armor.
Ah,
Black leathers.
that's
I was
cool.
like, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to own stormtrooper armor. I wonder if I could buy it. So I started searching, and I found some.
That's
I
cool.
bought it. I got it. It was fiberglass crap.
Oh.
And it wasn't until after that I found out about the 501st. They said, okay, well, they directed me to the right people. I found this guy that sells it, but he takes all his others, the incomplete kits, and puts them on eBay. I found them on eBay. I bought my Shadow Trooper armor on eBay against their best wishes, but it came out, it was perfect. They helped me build it, and my first event was that year at Boston Comic Con.
Nice.
And I finished it and got approved as a member of the 501st 2 days before the Comic Con.
That's nice.
That was
A
officially
reward.
my first troop, yeah. And what I saw at Boston Comic Con, I was blown away by the costumes and everything else. The downside to being in the 501st, though, is you go for screen accuracy. So everything I started doing after that had to be perfect, had to be just right. Since then, I've slacked off on...
Yeah, because of your mashups,
Right.
as we talked about. Yeah.
Actually, my first couple of mashups were, as best I could get them.
Yeah, I was going to call it kilted trooper though.
Yeah.
Well, one of my favorite, since I have you both here, one of my favorite mashups that you both did and do. We even have a picture of you on our website, and actually Cody brought it up to dinner last night when Rose asked who's this week guest was the Pulp Fiction Alien and Predator. I love that. I mean, you guys rock that.
That was my first team up.
Really?
Yeah, that was my first team up. Well, other than my daughter. Yeah. So outside of the family.
Well, how did that go? Which one of you two thought of that, and who approached who?
I think we were just chatting about stuff random. Wouldn't it be cool if we did this? And I said, well, I'm building this, and then Tim was like, well, they have this the Star Wars version of it. They have the Boba Fett and the Vader version. Let's do that because Predator has the dreads, so that would be Vincent. Yep. And Jules is bald, and that's Alien, And I was like,
all we have to do is put on suits, easy and done.
Clothes, that's Savers right there. Let's go to Savers.
Clothes,
because Savers is like your go-to place.
Yeah.
Yours as well?
Oh, yeah.
Because Rose and I are making a trip there tonight, actually.
My wife's already made the trip.
Well, Savers and online. I don't know if I can say name, site.
No, we're going to block out Savers, but yeah. But no, I guess
on Amazon. But
Amazon.
But you can find just fine.
That goes against everything. That's the old cosplay motto. I could spend hundreds of hours and hundreds of dollars building something, or I can just go and buy it for $20.
Some of my favorite mashups are you. Gentleman Deadpool. Loved it. Batman Predator. Love that.
Predabat.
Yeah, Predabat.
Oh,
but that one takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
That takes a toll on you because you sweat profusely.
Well, it's all rubber, too.
Yeah. Well, I filled the gloves up 4 times.
Oh, I know. I forgot.
Every time people came over for pictures, I had to keep my arm like this.
It would squish it
to put around them. Because if I put it like this, the
sweat
would
comes
pour right out.
I forget what con.
Onto them, onto the floor, everything else.
We were at one
Boston Comic Con. Was Boston?
It was Boston.
No, it was a con in Connecticut. It was a little con.
Yeah.
Brass City? Brass City?
Brass City, yeah.
Yes, and you were nonstop because Rose was with me, and she says, Tim is dying. I'm like, what do you mean? And I see you. You took off the cowl, and it was like you got out of the shower.
Yeah, but that wasn't that bad. That wasn't that bad because it was cool. It was a cool time of the year, so I go outside and cool down. Yeah. No, it was Rhode Island Comic Con. Is when I did it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When they were in the old
place. Yep.
The old.
Boston
Comic.
Boston Comic.
Yeah, it had to be Boston. Yeah.
It was Boston, right by the.
Oh, that was brutal.
Yeah, but the air conditioning never works there.
And I would have to take breaks, walk over to the trash can, and pull the glove off and just dump it out because there was so much sweat.
Yeah. Now, which one of your cosplays takes a toll on you?
Black Manta does.
Yeah.
Black Manta is.
You were a guest on one of our live shows at a con. You couldn't even sit down, if I remember right. One of our live shows that Jeremy and I did, you were.
Oh, I did. That was Alien.
No.
I scared Jeremy.
Yes, but you were Black Manta.
Oh, maybe I did.
At Granite State, I believe. You came up on stage and you couldn't sit down.
Yeah, well, that's the backpack and the hoses and the whole 9 yards. Manta is a chicken wire and Bondo and foam head that I made. It's 12 pounds. It's 12 pounds sitting on your neck.
Well, being a huge Aquaman fan, I saw that a mile away and I loved it.
But it was one of those things. I'm like, I'm going to do this, and it's still my favorite, and it sits up, it's ready to go. But it's a 12-pound helmet. Did I see online you're going to sell it? Well, there was a whole thing where I'm trying to, I've got a garage, and it's just loaded with stuff that either I built for me or I built for. I know. Big pieces though, big pieces.
Yeah, but see, the Black Man, I'm not a DC fan.
I know.
And I love that costume.
Yeah.
Well, when I picked
I knew exactly what it was, and for me, that's an obscure character. Yeah. I may see it in passing. I'm like, holy crap!
Excuse me 1 minute. I'm going to allow you to touch something, but you cannot open it. Go right there. I pulled this out.
It is extra tempting. It is extra tape. Yeah.
There he is. There's Black Manta right there.
So when we when I did this, it was it's rubber pants. I've got dress boots. It's a 6 millimeter. It's an Arctic wetsuit. It's a winter wetsuit basically. And when I was researching who else has done it, because the first thing I usually do is I research stuff and go, who else has done it? If there's something that's amazing out there, or if there's a ton of them out there, East Coast, West Coast doesn't make a difference. I kind of shy away from it.
Yeah.
I was the third one. So there was a
Really?
guy in San Diego, there's a guy in New York, and the guy in New York's helmet was amazing. Vacuum form, chrome, light up, insane. But the guy made huge money to make this helmet. I said, I'm the third one. Sold, I'll do it, you know. Doing Aquaman's Trident, not easy, and it's hot. It's all black, so Boston Comic-Con was my first time going to that one.
Yep.
Standing out in the sun on that easterly line, and you go, oh my god, everything's melting. Every time I stepped, there was a sweat coming out of the seams out of my boots. It was just, gross. Gloves, same thing.
Well, it's fitting. You just came out of the sea.
Well, which is really cool is because when the first time that we met was just right next to the sea, and it was fitting for you.
Yeah. I could have jumped in the Atlantic and I would have been totally fine. It was,
Speaking of cosplay, let's contact Jamie Dolan and get our cosplayer of the week.
Oh.
Hey guys, I am here working on some top secret cosplay stuff, but I am wondering, because I see Tim and Christian and Lewis, what you guys did with Jeremy. I'm pretty convinced he's not lost across the country again and that you guys might have him tied up somewhere. But we're actually here to talk about the cosplayer of the week, not Jeremy's whereabouts. So, the person I chose this time has some really amazing mashups. She's got a Hoth Tank Girl, her Twi'lek Harley Quinn that she debuted at Super Mega Fest this past year. She's also cosplayed as Tinkerbell, Mulan, Firestar. She did Zombie Carol at Rhode Island Comic Con and even baked her own cookies to share with everybody. She's the best known for her cannons, for her Hoth Tank Girl cosplay, and if you haven't figured it out by now, it is Carolyn Jarvis. Cares a Lot cosplay with an O. She's only been cosplaying for 2 years, which is kind of amazing since in 2017 she actually did, I believe it was 14 new cosplays, and I'm pretty sure she made all of them herself. So she gets major kudos for that. You can find her on Facebook at Carolot Cosplay and Instagram at Kazuko, which is Cuzako. And if you have a sweet tooth, you definitely want to check out her confections page. She is on Facebook there at Cares a Lot Confections. And that could be dangerous because from what I hear, some of the stuff she bakes is as awesome as her cosplays. And that's all I have for now. You guys better let Jeremy go, and I will see you next week. See ya.
Got for this week, Christian. Sorry. That's all we have for this week's
episode. Well.
It's like Jeremy never. We'll put that one back. Oh my lord. Anyway, that's all we have for this week. I gotta get these two guys out of here. We're gonna go get some food. And check Christian's film out. You can find a link on our website for that. And you know where to find this guy. He's on our website, and you can find him on Facebook. Louis Perry for the inconspicuously by his absent Jeremy Courtney. We'll see you guys next week right here on Public Access TV and YouTube.
Finger guns.
This has been an Earplug Podcast presentation. Found on earplugpodcast.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, and wherever your favorite podcasts are found.